What up, Viking fans? And thank you for tuning in to the Skol State of Mind podcast. I'm your host, D Woods. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys a training camp update and my opinion on what I feel how things have been going for the Minnesota Vikings during this training camp. But first off, let's kick it off with the injuries. Now, one of the biggest injuries out there, is Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, hasn't been practicing for about a week now, and he's been sidelined. But I see and hear that he's been heavily involved, with the training camp. He's just not somewhere, getting some treatment. He's been on the sidelines. I just believe the Vikings are basically taking it slow, and steady, but it's kind of a gift and a curse at the same time because it actually gives other guys out there the opportunity to show themselves with the first team while, Jettis is sidelined. I don't think it's a big injury. I think he should be back probably like next week. And it's not a big deal as of right now. I just hope it doesn't linger on, throughout the season. And he's probably not going to be playing in the preseason game. So it is what it is. Let's just keep, just healthy, for the whole 17 games and keep moving forward. But on other news, Christian Darrisaw has been taking snaps with the whole offensive line unit, which looks good. I mean, I'm just hopeful that, Darrisaw can get out there and basically, start the season week 1. But we're still a long ways away from that going forward. So we just kind of have to touch and go and see, how training camp plays out. Josh Metellus, there hasn't been that much word on Josh Metellus, but he's been out with that ankle injury. Some people thought it was, he won a new contract and that's why he wasn't practicing. And what I can say for that is like this though, right? Sometimes that happens, but we just got to start giving players the benefit of a doubt and, just go from there. But that's that with the injuries. I mean, Will Fries is basically, taking snaps. They're just going to be going slow on a lot of guys, especially veteran guys with these injuries, because you don't want to rush nothing. And then basically you got a whole years long lingering thing. And that's what you don't want, going to the season, especially with the season where I feel like the Vikings feel like they can actually, make some noise in the playoffs. So let's keep it moving. Now, Ty Felton. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys out there follow me on social media and follow other Viking pages and stuff like that. And I've been seeing a lot of things like, Ty Felton is not the guy. Ty Felton is, he's underwhelming, or we could have did this and we could have did that. And I'm just gonna give you my own 3 cents on the situation. I feel like this though, right? Like Ty Felton's a rookie. I mean, he came from Maryland. I mean, it's not the Alabamas, it's not the LSUs and stuff like that. Not to throw any shade on, his collegiate career, but when you're coming into the NFL as a rookie, you're going to have to take your time and learn things. Not every rookie, especially receivers, just come to the team and hit the ground running. And what's kind of annoying for me is the fact that we heard the same thing last year with Dallas Turner. People basically were out there, Viking fans out there, oh, Dallas Turner's a bust. I mean, I can't believe we traded this for him. I can't believe this. And it's like when you ask them this question, well, if you want Dallas Turner to play more, who are you taking off the field? Because at the end of the season, you basically saw, Jonathan Gennard and, Van Ginkel become Pro Bowlers. So were you going to take time away from them to put the rookie out there when he was basically developing and understanding the defense? It's fucking bullshit. So let's get back to Ty Felton, right? Let's just give it some time, right? Like we can't just automatically, oh, this guy's a bust. And I feel like Viking fans out there kind of have no patience, for guys coming in. It's like they want every guy to come in and be, the quote unquote perennial Pro Bowler or Hall of Famer. Guys might not be that. I mean, look at Josh Metellus, for example, right? He's a staple on this defense. He's a leader in the locker room. He's everything and everything above, right? He was like a 6th or 5th round pick, and he was cut once. Just let things play out. It's training camp. It's only been like 1-2 weeks of training camp. Let's see what this guy does in the preseason game before you basically throw him to the wolves and say like, "Oh my God, here we go again." Like Viking fans, we gotta be patient. We ain't. I know we ain't haven't never won a Super Bowl, but it is what it is. Just be patient with these guys, man. They gotta develop. And we're talking about development, right? Let's get on JJ McCarthy's development. Now, for the first week, it was just like everything was up. Like, oh my God, JJ McCarthy's out there. He's slinging that thing, boom, boom, bam. Like it was a lot. But now you're starting to slowly hear the rumblings that, he's kind of struggling a little bit out there. I mean, it could be one or two things, or he doesn't have the number one receiver out there, but he does have a quote unquote number one receiver, B in Jordan Addison. But it's like this is how I paint the picture for some of you guys out there. I want JJ McCarthy to basically struggle during the preseason and training camp, so he can kind of expect, what's going to happen when the bullets really start flying. And if y'all want to actually give, not if y'all want to give, Brian Flores a lot of credit for his defense running around, then that's good for McCarthy to struggle right now with that because he's going to learn from it. Like the only like you learn more from your mistakes than you actually learn from just knowing everything out there. Like I got kids and I teach my daughters that shit all the time. Like learn from your mistakes, and I feel like if McCarthy's out there throwing mistakes and stuff like that, hey, he's gonna have to learn from it. But the one thing that I really like see that's with McCarthy that I feel like he needs to work on is I really think he's throwing the ball too hard. And what I mean by throwing the ball too hard is just like he has to get to the point of having touch on the ball and learning when to have touch on the ball and not to have touch on the ball. Because I'm seeing receivers that like Jordan Addison, who doesn't really have a problem with drops, hit their hands, bam, they drop it. And I mean, it's kind of both on them, but this is the learning curve. I'd rather the receivers, and McCarthy kind of get this thing out now versus the season starts and they don't know what to do. So that's why I was saying in the last video that, some of us are relying on, social media and other outlets to give us the updated training camp. I know I do. So you have to kind of like take all that with a grain of salt because, you're not there 100% of the time, and two, it's training camp, and training camp is for players to actually learn. You feel me? Like it's that's what it's built for. So you're going to have ups and downs. Like I would rather the team have an up and down training camp versus a team that's just basically like, all right, we know what we're doing and get their ass, punched in the mouth first game of the season. So let's just tell it back a little bit. And I think with the offensive struggles too, right? Like the defense is playing like they say the defense is playing lights out. And I think one thing out there is like people are really concerned with the backup quarterback situation. I am, but not so much. And the reason why I'm not so much is because I'm gonna throw it back on y'all. If you are out there talking about Kevin O'Connell's basically quarterback boot camp or quarterback school or whatever, then you should have and give Kevin O'Connell more time with Sam Howell. Because if you believe Kevin O'Connell is that quarterback guru and he's making every quarterback better that he's had in his arsenal, then you should be able to give Sam Howell some time to actually develop and see what he can contribute to this team. But if you feel like Kevin O'Connell can't do that, then I don't want to hear shit else about this quarterback school, none of that shit, because it's kind of contradicting itself. Like it can't be both ways. You get what I'm saying? Like Kevin O'Connell can't be this hot shot coordinator, this hot shot, young head coach with the offensive mind that's basically, going out there giving, helping out struggling quarterbacks. But then when he gets a quarterback, that's not up to caliber, it's like, oh, we should just throw that away. Oh, we should just get somebody else. It can't be both ways. It can't. All right. So, you know, let's let's get into this Viking Texan game coming up. All right. Like this ain't gonna be the preview video because I'm not gonna do no preview video for the preseason games. It's gonna be like this. Is like I feel like training camp has been going on for some time now, and I feel like these guys are ready to, see some some other colors, some other jerseys. You feel what I'm saying? Like they're ready to do that. But hey, I can't wait. So you already know once the first preseason game for your team come in, man, the ball is gonna be rolling. But that's pretty much all I got for y'all right now. Just like I said before, I thank you guys out there rocking with me and following the pages and following me on social media. And you know how I'll end it. Skol, baby.